all in favor? We're out of executive session. I'm sorry. Well, yeah. We'll pause a few minutes in between sessions here while we distribute some material for the board. We also wait for Maureen to join us. So I'm going to call the meeting to order, the Harrison Select Board meeting for Thursday, May 14th. I'll resume the meeting now that we've come out of executive session. And first item on the agenda will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is adjustments to the agenda.
I have an adjustment.
Do you have one?
Yep. Just a request for some additional funding for the Browntown lock mitigation.
Okay. Why don't I'll put that under old business.
Yep.
So that's additional funding for brown tail moth treatment. Okay. And we'll add one more item on the agenda, I think under new business. It can be at the end, which will be a motion relative to legal action.
Yes.
So I'll add that at the end of the new business agenda. Okay. Other than that, we're ready to start business. So next item on the agenda is the town manager's report, which, if you want to do a brief one.
Yep. So as presented in front of you, I've got the town manager's report. Just an update on the personnel policy, and this, I'll leave this up to the board, but we're ready to go as far as it's been reviewed by department heads. It's ready to go as far as for legal review. Given where we're at right now with our overage and legal fees, we're only, a matter of 6 weeks away from July 1st. I'd maybe recommend holding off and wait till maybe like the last end of June, maybe to get that sent over so that, we're getting billed in the next year. So that's okay.
Is it?
That's the next step. Is it just going to go before legal review?
So for a timetable, you're suggesting we send that to them
A little
at
bit
the end of
closer.
June?
Yeah.
And then the board might wind up voting on it in July or August?
Hopefully July, I would hope.
Okay.
That would be my goal.
Okay.
The mechanic vacancy was filled with Nate Johnson, who has experience as a municipal mechanic for the town of Wyndham. So he started on the 28th. There was a little bit of overlap with Andy Paddles, so that worked out well. And we are going to be starting department head evaluations for performance reviews for this fiscal year, the end of the fiscal year. For downtown revitalization, economic growth and development, on this note right here, and Kristen, you might want to make a note of this, that
I know they changed the date. I'm no longer available. I'm so bummed.
What's the new date?
The 21st.
oh, okay.
Yep. They sent an update.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right, he updated the invite, yeah, so, but at least we know they're coming and it is happening, so, but that is going to be the Maine DOT partnership kickoff with, where we're gonna do a walkthrough of the village. And
What time is that?
Noon to 2.
It was noon to 2.
Yeah. But now it's on 5/21.
Yeah.
Okay.
May I attend that, since Kristen can't?
Sure.
I'll forward you the invite.
So the other thing we would have to be careful about is whether we have to post that in case.
I can't go.
Yeah.
So we have one, or
I will go.
Okay, all right, are you planning to go?
No.
Okay, so just one of us.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll forward you the invite.
thank you. Put it in my calendar now, 12 to 2.
Yeah.
They're providing lunch.
Nope.
We'll take them to the mill after.
The next, our.
Can I,
our,
John, let me just ask you,
Yeah.
and it says a small presentation on what will be included in the agreement?
Mhm.
Is that, he's just going to explain? Okay.
Yeah.
So coming out of that, sometime in June, we'd be in position to sort of define the scope of this?
Yes.
Okay.
So the scope of it should be in the agreement that he goes over with us.
Okay. And so in June, the board might have some discussion, review that, have some discussion?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. I think the next thing we'll be looking at, working with Daryl, is a U.S. Economic Development Administration disaster grant. So that was something that was discussed already a little bit with GP cog. So now that we've got the 3 grants in for the adaptation fund for the storm drainage projects, we'll be able to now maybe focus on that next. I did discover a facade improvement grant that will be available next winter through the state Department of Economic Development. So more to come on that for the downtown
Is
revitalization.
that something that, does the board understand what that is? Facade improvement grant program?
I don't know the specifics of this grant, but I understand the concept.
Okay. I mean, I think there's some decisions the board would make as to what level of participation, and the timing just seems appropriate, given we're taking a look at the DOT part of the project for the infrastructure.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. A little ways out, but Daryl does have experience in facade improvement programs, so.
So this is for private businesses to be using money for?
And they'll have to be convinced to participate, so there'll need to be some public engagement work.
For regional updates, there was a meeting held in Naples at their town hall on last Thursday night. The towns of Naples, Sebago, Bridgeton, and Casco. There was more discussion, I guess, from extension from the last regional meeting about what towns can be doing to work together on shared services. And as a result of that meeting, the Naples town managers reached out to me with an inquiry about the possibility of having a shared harbor master, in addition to possibly some other give and take services that we could work together on. So more to come on that.
When you talk to him about that, can you find out what their harbor master does now? Like how many moorings?
I don't know if they have one, but yeah,
I think they dropped their harbor master.
Well, their code enforcement officer is currently doing it.
Right.
So I think they had one, and then they dropped him last year.
Right,
And they
okay.
decided to cut funding, and they decided to put it on the code, and I think they realized that
It's just too much.
it's too much, just like, I mean, we got over 500 moorings. I'm sure Naples has a lot more.
probably must have more.
So, I mean, that would probably turn it into a full-time job for somebody, I bet you.
Bridgeton was kind of struggling with that issue too.
Issue two, they don't have one, I don't think either.
No, I think they formed a committee to try and figure out what to do, but I don't, so you might want to keep that on your
Yeah,
radar
talk
as
to
well.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think that would become a full-time position for whatever town takes it on.
In the area of resilience, we're currently assisting the Community Resilience Partnership, assisting with the CRP grant through CB, with the help of the Resilience Committee. Mike Dunn, who is doing our electrical energy audit, has been very helpful and very involved in working on the grant that we discussed. And the application, an application was submitted through GP cog for the climate vulnerability assessment, so I think we'll know in June, I believe. As I mentioned, the infrastructure grants were submitted. I think Monday was the deadline, so they're all in. Fingers crossed, especially with Summit Hill Road. So we will I'm not sure when we find out. I know it's going to be a little bit, so I will keep you posted. Annual town report has been submitted for the publishing company, and we're waiting on a proof. And it's expected, they were expecting to be done by May 22nd. I'm told that there may be a little bit of an extension on it, but shouldn't be too much longer, that they'll be getting to. I know Harrison is last on the list of the DOT ADA crosswalk updates, so they'll be working right down at the intersection here, coming up soon to take care of the issues with that crosswalk.
Are they going to be doing repairing the sidewalks in that area too?
I'm hoping that that's part of it. If it's not, then that's certainly going to be something that's going to be on our list of,
We need to do that
it's in rough shape.
someone's going to get hurt, yeah. So we need to do something.
Yeah, so, actually, we'll be doing the walkthrough before, likely before they get to that project. So that'll certainly be something that's going to come up as we do the walkthrough next week, so.
There's a couple of quick things. It might be useful going into town meeting to make up a list of the grants. I think every meeting we talk about grants, and the list keeps sort of growing and growing, and I think it would be advantageous to for the public to be able to understand how much work's going into applying for the grants, understanding there's no commitment to us getting them, but
Just so they know that what Daryl's doing, so that they know that.
right. But I just think too, it's good for the town to hear that we're pursuing all these avenues for getting other revenue in to help pay for primarily infrastructure-related kinds of work. So maybe just a short list of the grants. The other thing I just wanted to mention, I went to the regional GP cog meeting, and there seemed to be more interest than I've seen in the past for shared services in the area of fire and rescue. Some of the other towns were complaining about the cost of having career staffing. And there seemed to be an interest in kind of pursuing the conversation more as we go forward. Although they recognize it's sort of a difficult topic. But I did see more interest from the other towns in the region than I'd seen in the past. So it's something I think more to come in the future. And one of the reasons we have John sitting over there is he's brings some expertise in that area for us. Thank you. No other questions? That's a good summary. I think we got the gist of all the important stuff that's going on, and hopefully the community does too. Next item is the additional reports, which we all have in front of us and are published to the website.
I publish them after the meetings, that way you see them first.
Okay. And I think in general we don't spend too much time going through the details
For
of
the
this.
time,
Pardon me?
for time, we should just,
Right.
I
So
read
you,
them last night when I got them.
okay. So unless you have some specific questions for John, as always, we can take the pages home and press them if we need to. I think a lot of good information in here, a lot of detail, which I don't want to say the more the better, but I think some of the, it's good to have some of these facts in front of us every month. So if there's no questions for John, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is where we would usually talk about external agencies or other jurisdictions. I don't think we have any scheduled for this month, so perhaps it might be advantageous to have the school reps come in June after town meeting, after the ballot question, the Harrison Educational Options Committee, and see about getting an update on where they stand regarding the consolidated elementary school. So if you could put that request in. Moving on, public participation for any non-agenda items. Who's first?
No, Mary, you're on the agenda later.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, it's like right after that.
We're almost there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do you have a clock? Up here? Yeah. I know I only have 2 minutes, so I'll be very brief. My name is Valerie Adams. I'm running for district attorney, and I'm here to introduce myself because I'm a political newcomer, and if I'm elected, we will need to work together as Harrison is part of Cumberland County. So I just wanted to make sure that you know who I am and why I'm running very briefly. So I'm a political newcomer, but I'm not new to Maine. I grew up in Portland. I live in Pownell now with my family. If you don't know where it is, it's like the Baldwin of the other side of the county. Very small town. I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. I've been an immigration attorney, and I've also been a town councilor. So I have a lot of respect for the work that you do here. And every time I'm at one of these meetings, I miss it so much. As an attorney, that's primarily been my work as defense attorney and prosecutor. I've defended and prosecuted hundreds of cases. The reason that I'm running is because currently there is a failure in leadership at the district attorney's office, which I think is relevant to everybody's work in Cumberland County and important to know. And it's something that is difficult to know if you don't work directly with the criminal justice system. The current district attorney, the district attorney's office is an office of the people, and the district attorney is supposed to be a steward of that office, and the current district attorney is not being a good steward of that office. And relationships, in particular with law enforcement agencies, have fallen apart, and that has negatively affected the ability of the district attorney's office to do its work, but also the ability of law enforcement to do its work, and those two need to work together closely. So that is why I'm running. I won't get into the specifics of my platform. I don't know that that's appropriate in this setting, but I did want to make sure that you know who I am and you know that I'm available to speak with any of you if you have specific questions. I emailed with Catherine, so she has my email contact for any of you if you'd like to reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Yes, thank you for
For driving the Harris?
Yeah, it's a lovely drive.
We view ourselves as the other end of the universe from Portland, the greater Portland area, so.
Yes.
But we're pleased for the attention.
Yes, it's nice. It's my second time here. I came with my kids last summer and we had ice cream.
Oh, nice.
I just needed a nap in the car.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Nice to
Good
meet
luck.
you.
Have a good night.
Moving on, we'll do the consent agenda. So we have approval of the minutes, which hopefully have all been approved by signature. The approval of the minutes, the meeting for April 23rd, 2025, and that's it for the consent agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. No further discussion. All in favor? 5-0. Go to old business. We have the Parks capital request, which we had talked about briefly previously. Do you have any information?
Yeah, did Al explain why he was looking for the Parks and
Did
Recreation
Al
Board?
give us any explanations why?
What he said was that he would be using the claw grapple for picking up, debris in the parks, and the rotary tiller would be also being used for work in the parks as well. I did ask that he could be here.
I think the grapple is something that he could use, but at this point in time, I just don't understand. I know we've been talking about doing a community garden up at either at Public Works or up at Radar, but at this point in time, none of those have been approved or even talked about anymore, so I just think that the cost, I know it's only,
So we have two items he's requesting, right?
the grapple and the rototiller.
We have the grapple and the rototiller, and so we can decide to approve both, neither, or just one of the two.
You don't, I'm just asking this because I'm not sure. This tiller, there's not something else you would use it for, like if you need to replant grass somewhere, or you need a,
We don't have large enough areas. If we don't have a large enough area to put a rototiller on to repair an area.
Did you have a question for John?
it helped, Mike's helped too, but is there any place we would need it that's for a purpose other than a garden?
He seemed to indicate that he would be able to use it at the parks, but
Has he used one in the past?
I don't recall if we've ever owned one. I just
So
think
this is the rototiller now.
This is
Yeah,
the rototiller.
I don't.
So-
I'm in favor of the grapple, I'm
So-
not in favor of the rototiller. That's all I have to say.
I assume if he comes back later with a real
Sufficient.
solid reason for needing it,
Yeah, I
then
mean,
the
he
price
could
probably won't change that
he
much.
could have written a letter. You didn't have
That
to
you
come
go to
tonight,
next
but
year's
we asked for more information, and all we got is that he could use it.
So I would entertain a motion to approve one or the other or both of these.
I think we just moved the whole entire request.
So your motion would be to table it or reschedule it for the next meeting.
That's mine.
That would be your motion, that would be, so that could be, that's the other option to voting to approve one or the other is we could just make a motion to table both items.
Was there any reason to rush it or get it done?
well, it's
The rototiller is,
but it's only the cap. It's this year's capital funds, though, right? So
Still a couple more meetings.
yeah,
Like
that's
one more
pretty
after
good.
this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've got the 28th in June, so.
So would
Okay.
you want to make a motion to table this to the next meeting?
I'll make a motion that we table this request until the next meeting.
Second,
So the motion's been made and seconded to table this for the, table or reschedule for the next meeting. All in favor? 5-0. So we'll figure out what kind of rationale the board would feel comfortable with. And we'll kind of provide you individually some feedback, so you and Al can be prepared for the next meeting. The item under old business is the additional cost associated with the brown-tailed moth treatment. If you want to give us a quick explanation.
So apparently when the initial estimate was done by Top Leaf Tree, there was an oversight on a couple of trees over toward the old mill side. If you know what I'm talking about, the old mill park.
Mill Park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's just some concern that if we don't get all of them,
Yep.
and I don't think we want to hear of a case of somebody
Getting it.
getting it after
Treated.
Yes, so it's $2,300.
And where would the money come from?
I think the only place at this point that we could take it would be from the select board contingency.
Okay, that's okay we're still within budget for this year, so the money is available to you.
12,500, I believe, is the balance.
Okay. So the motion will be to approve the additional expenditure of how much?
$2,300.
Was to be taken out of the, what's the description for the line item? The
Select board next
select board contingency?
Is that what it is, Maureen?
I don't recall that description.
Discretionary.
No, hold on. I'm looking at the warrant.
How much was the original estimate? 14,000?
14, I-28, somewhere, don't quote me on the exact number, but somewhere in that, right in that ballpark.
Hold on. What was the special town meeting approval?
You could do the motion and approve. Coming out of the line item expense that item that we'll include the description of it in.
So the original approval was for the 11,450 done at special town meeting. It's okay. There's a lot of numbers.
And so how much is it now?
2,300 more.
Just 2,300 more?
Yep.
13,750.
So the 2,300 coming out of the board designated allowance from the unassigned fund. Or the undesignated,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it.
So we'll use that description, and Maureen will have it hit the right line item. So, as entertain a motion to approve the expenditure of the $2,300 for the additional brown tail moth treatment coming out of the select board line item, expense item.
From the undesignated fund.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. All
Oh,
in
it hasn't
favor?
been second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Seconded. Motion's been made and seconded.
Yes.
All in favor? 5-0. And Catherine, Maureen will give you the right text to put in that, so we get it hitting the right line item. Moving right along, new business. First item we have under new business is Peach Tree for a memorial, request for a Peach Tree memorial.
Hi, good evening. Thank you very much for reviewing the proposal that I written in longhand. And I'm Mary Di Benedetto, and this is another member of the North.
Just because he's got LTV.
Oh.
See, everyone wants to hear you.
Okay, sorry. My friend Linda, and a member of North Waterford Grange. So I hope you had a chance to review the proposal in longhand. But to shorten it up, the memorial is to be placed at the Harrison Recreational Park for youth and adults of all ages in collaboration with the Maine state ideals of the Grange, and I think the whole state of Maine, of fostering agricultural educational husbandry. It was suggested by Al Kowalski that lovely fruit-bearing, he mentioned a pear tree, but I think as long as it's fruit-bearing, it would be great for, particularly, he had mentioned children, and as a grandmother, I know some don't like t-ball, and so maybe they'd like to learn about, you know, the agricultural piece. So Waterford Grange would purchase the fruit-bearing tree. He mentioned pear, it could be peach. And also the plaque for E. Paul Edwards. He was a citizen of the town of Harrison. He also worked, he was a great forester. He loved animals and was even teaching me about getting lost in the woods and how to get out. So in memory of him, and he helped with the Grange and with so many things, and it just was a gift to them, and it would really be nice where he grew up here if you would consider approving the plaque and the memorial to him. We greatly appreciate it. We're grateful that you even take it into consideration with something. But those two things would be paid for by the Grange, and not the town.
Do you know exactly where it would go? Did Al specify where the park?
Do you know any specifics of what the exact location?
I think that because Al is the Parks and Recreation person, he could let us know where. I know he's going to let us know where to purchase it, where he's had fantastic luck in his garden with the fruit trees, and we will go there where he suggests and get the tree, and of course to the trophy and plaque, to get the plaque. Well, I think he was hoping maybe at where the recreation department brings the children because I know some don't like sports, so he was hoping to
Somewhere
kind of
around the
redirect them into maybe a little garden of fruits and vegetables in the tree, and teach them, you know, about, and I'm a Mainer, and Maine certainly fosters all those things, and I grew up in Portland, but had a summer place in Casco, so I love it, and even when you leave here, it calls you home. So about animal husbandry and agricultural, I think it really fosters the environmental consciousness of the state of Maine. So I hope you
Thank you.
will make it happen. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Does anybody have any questions?
I make a
Do you want me to
motion,
stay?
I make a motion to
Yes.
accept the gift of the plant and the plaque to go to Crystal Lake Park.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? John?
John does.
John, is it Radar or Crystal Lake? Which park was it, do you know?
I believe it was because wherever the recreation department brings the children.
Oh, for summer rec. okay.
For
Then
summer
that's-
rec.
I think it's
okay,
Crystal.
that makes sense.
Summer rec.
Yeah, I get it.
So to keep them happy.
Yes, yeah.
And it sounds like the location will be determined in consultation with Al.
Yeah.
We'll make sure it's
So wherever the decisions, thank you.
wherever the best place is, and we'll be sure we consider whatever might happen in the future. I know we've talked, there's been some discussion in the past about another building over there, so factoring in what might happen in the future.
Okay.
We want to make sure it's safe going forward.
All right.
Right.
Well, thank you so much.
So
Thank you.
we just
Greatly
need to
appreciate
do a
it.
quick, we have a motion to made and seconded to accept this. All in favor? 5-0, so good to go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Next item on the, thank you for coming.
Thank you, yes.
Well, thank you
Thank you
for
for
having us.
hanging out, waiting for us.
Yeah.
Well, we're learning something. Thank you so, thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, new business license renewals. So we have we have 4 altogether, which we should do individually. Okay. So the first one is Fluvial Brewing LLC. Motion? I assume we'd hear if we've had any problems with any of these, and we haven't had complaints of any sort. So first one, yes, motion to approve the business license renewal for Fluvial Brewing.
I'll make a motion that we approve the business license renewal for Fluvial Brewing LLC of Harrison.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded by several people. All in favor? 5-0. Next one is the Greenwood Manor, run by Joseph and Jillian Drew.
I make a motion that we approve the business license for Greenwood Manor.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the business license renewal for Greenwood Manor. All in favor? 5-0. The next one is the business license for Millie's on Main.
I make a motion to approve the license for Millie's on Main.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to renew the business license for Millie's on Main. All in favor? 5-0.
Kristen, your turn.
The last one is the business license renewal for Vacation Land Campgrounds.
I make a motion we accept the business license for vacation campgrounds.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to renew the license for Vacation Land Campgrounds. All in favor? 5-0. Moving right along. Next item on the agenda is the 2027 paving bid award. The award of the paving bid. So John, if you want to give us a little background on proposal went out and results came back and
Yeah, so last Thursday, we received 4 bids for the FY '27 paving. And the lowest bidder was, I met with the Public Works Director, we went through the bids, we looked at them, just to make sure that they're all comparable. And he had already, actually, I think before we met, he had already started checking some references on the lowest bidder. I think last year Pike Industries did the paving, and it didn't end up happening until fairly late in the season, which for some of the bigger companies there, that I think is somewhat typical because they're also doing highway projects and things like that. So being a little skeptical about a paving company that we had not heard of before, Jack did due diligence and even went over to Poland and drove some of the roads that and they, I guess, have great reviews about Spencer Group paving. So we also got a reference out of Rumford. So we're hoping that by having this process a little bit earlier and maybe using a smaller company, that we may, one, be able to get more done for the money, and two, be able to get on the schedule a little bit sooner than, because paving really needs to be done under 50 degrees, so.
About
Sorry.
Wow.
Should
Get going.
it should not be done under 50 degrees.
Yeah.
All right.
We want to do it in July and August, September.
That'd be nice, but,
Yeah.
but anyway, the Spencer Group was the lowest bidder, and the reviews were very favorable.
So, does anybody have questions?
And we were working up to what amount did we specify?
The warrant article says 786,000.
And they understand that it's our
Contingent
approval is
on
contingent on.
town meeting, yep.
Did, in the RFP, was there any timeline requested or in terms of sort of giving points for being able to do it earlier rather than later? Do they commit to a schedule when they submit their bids?
They don't. They're starting to get their scheduling done now, which is why we wanted to try to get this done a little bit sooner than when the bid had been done in the past.
So your thinking is that we have a better shot with the smaller company of being able to get in early in the schedule rather than late in the schedule. But we don't actually put anything in the RFP regarding our desire to do it earlier rather than later.
No.
Okay, that might be something in the future.
This year, I'd like to see it maybe done not earlier, maybe August and September, towards the later part of the
When prices
paving
may come
season,
down.
just to see if we can get more for our buck.
Because of the sort of supply chain
Supply
side of
chain
things,
side of things, so
kind of difficult.
if you can say, we'd like to see if we can get it done in August and September to see if we can get more roads paved for the money that we have.
When I get in touch with them, I'll check and see what their schedule is looking like this year for the paving season.
But that's what we'd like, still in the heat.
So ask them to schedule us when the asphalt is at its lowest cost of the season.
That's the end of the year.
Yeah, November. So, any other questions for John? If not, it's time for a motion to approve awarding the bid.
I make a motion that we approve the paving bids to Spencer Group Paving out of Turner, Maine.
Second?
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the 2026 paving project to Spencer Group Paving, subject to the approval at town meeting of the entire amount of funding. So motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Next comes the town meeting warrant. Are we ready for this? So the board has to approve the articles to go on the warrant. And I guess we'll be approving the order that they're going to appear on the warrant as well.
There was one that I wasn't sure about.
Just
Okay, all right. I
Just
didn't
to-
know what you wanted to
Just to
say.
confirm that we need to approve each article
Okay, good. Then I can-
as we go through it. Couple of quick comments. The select board recommendation historically has been yes or no. The board can certainly decide whatever the wording should be. The other thing I think is that the select board recommendation is only required on financial articles. Okay, so when we get down to the ordinances at the end, it'll be without a select board recommendation. So you kind of cross that. That's how that. The other thing I will maybe just mention before we get started on this is that on the first page towards the bottom, we're broken into two articles. One for staff and one for non-residents to speak. So that was a point of confusion we had back in December. So there'll be two separate articles on here.
Are we doing non-residents or town employees?
That's what you said, staff.
Staff.
So the first article is for staff.
Gotcha.
So the third from the bottom,
Gotcha.
and then separately will be the non-residents,
Okay.
which specifically really are for, tended to be taxpayers who happen to be non-residents.
Should it
Should
say,
taxpayers then?
should it say the same thing as appropriate when recognized by the monitor after that?
Well, I think
Or
the as appropriate, I think, is intended to be that the staff will speak upon those things that they have expertise in or subject matter. Not-
Then should it just say when recognized by the moderator?
No,
I
we can
don't,
discuss
I
that.
know. I'm like, why is this one so short?
Well, I think what we're saying is the non-residents, who I interpret to be taxpayers, will be permitted to speak as though they were residents. In fact, there's no limit.
So would we allow non-residents, non-taxpayers to speak?
Well,
That's what I think we should.
We
We can talk about that when we go through the
we
others.
can, yeah. So in general, those were the couple of, the articles have been used by, when we get to it, the operating expense articles and then the capital expense articles are separate. And then up at the end is the county and the ordinances. So that's kind of the order. If there aren't any other questions, we'll sort of plow into this, I guess, one article at a time. All right? Good to go, John?
Yes.
So we'll start with, the first several are pretty much boilerplate and the same as prior years, the article one to choose the moderator. I don't know that I need to read the wording on each and every one.
No,
You don't.
you don't.
So motion to approve Article 1.
Second. Motion to approve Article 1.
And
Second.
Motion been made, second to approve Article 1 as stated. All in favor? Article 1 is approved.
We did this like this last year?
I don't know if we did it one at a time, but,
I don't remember doing that.
well, we'll try and go through this quickly. Article 2,
I make a motion to approve Article 2 as written.
Second?
all in favor? 5-0 for Article 2. Article 3,
I make a motion to approve Article 3 as written.
Second?
That's how it's written on the ballot,
why is it on the warrant?
because you have those questions.
It says it up above.
Yeah. because you open you open voting in the meeting on June 9th, and then we have town meeting for the questions after.
So even Article 2 is about what's elected on the ballot.
Right. So Articles 1 through 3 are on the ballot.
On ballot.
And those get voted on Tuesday. And then we're gonna vote in person on the following.
So,
Articles 1 through 3 are on the 9th,
Yes.
secret ballot.
okay,
They have to be secret ballot.
Yep. And that wording is identical, you're saying? Okay. So,
I made a motion.
And I second it.
all in favor? Next article on the Water Agents Manual is prepared by the Maine Municipal Association.
Make a motion to approve that article.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Okay, so far so good. The next article is to allow staff, municipal administrators, that be and staff, or staff, or non-residents.
This is the wording from the Casco warrant.
Is it?
Rick had
Okay.
suggested it.
Okay. Motion to accept it as written,
I make a motion to accept the article as written.
Second.
been made and seconded, all in favor? The next article is to permit non-residents to speak.
I think it should say non-resident taxpayers.
Yeah, but we did have county people come speak, remember? I'm not sure we want to say that. Didn't we have like some of the sheriffs come speak at the meeting?
Yep.
And they're non-residents, not taxpayers. So I don't know if we want to limit it to taxpayers.
Deny.
So possibly someone from the county could show up
Yeah.
to discuss anything. So the question is whether this should be limited to non-residents who are taxpayers, or just leave the text as stated.
Have we allowed non-residents to speak in the past? Not typically.
County commissioner.
County commissioner, I mean, sheriff spoke last year, or the year before, didn't they speak?
They did.
And sometimes do we really know if a person is a taxpayer or not if they're speaking? We don't know.
There are
When
voters
they
that-
when they sign in.
They won't
Card
get
if they're a
voting
voter,
thing.
but
Right,
that's
that's
it.
it, right.
But we don't
Oh,
know,
that's true.
right?
I don't think we're gonna have that many anyway.
I don't either.
So I think we should approve, I make a motion to approve the article as written.
To permit non-residents to speak.
It's going to be a vote, so.
But I don't think it's that many.
Yeah, but it's going to be a vote, so. People will choose.
To vote it.
Yeah, so people will choose to vote it, so why
Yeah,
not?
that's fine.
Some
Yeah,
people will
second.
let them, some
Right,
people
so-
won't.
We're just putting it on there.
Yeah, putting it on there.
How about attendees who are not registered voters in Harrison?
As opposed to non-residents?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
What is it, attendees?
Yeah,
I'm not registered voters.
attendees who are not.
Non-registered Harrison voters?
Yeah. That makes more sense.
To vote to permit attendees who are not registered to vote in the town of Harrison.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
So what, they should just approve this.
So if I withdraw my motion.
Yes. I'll have to read up on Robert's rules on these, exactly how this works in terms of a motion.
I think,
Supersede a
I
motion.
think what happens is you have to vote on my motion and deny it, and that's personally what I thought.
Was your motion seconded?
Yes, I seconded it.
So at that point, we have to vote on it.
So why don't we just
Yes, you say, motion been
made and seconded?
all in favor.
All in favor? So all opposed? Okay, so we voted that original one down, and now we're ready for another motion.
can Maureen read it again?
To see if the town will vote to permit attendees of the town meeting who are not registered to vote in the town of Harrison to speak.
I make a motion to approve the article as Maureen read it.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the article as Maureen read it.
Well, I'm not gonna, unless you want to give it to me. in
No, I
front
think
of me, I'll
that's
read it.
fine, that's fine.
As long as Catherine gets it.
So,
Motion being seconded, all in favor? Phil?
I know I'll get a month or so left in this job.
Stop.
All in favor?
Stop.
That's all right.
5-0. Okay, next article is to set the date for taxes at September 16th and February 2nd, as is usually done every year.
And February 1st is not a Sunday this year?
It's a Monday, I checked.
Okay, good.
I make a motion to approve that
That
article.
article.
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. Next article is to, again, pretty standard, authorized to accept prepayment of taxes.
I make a motion that we approve that article as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Okay. The next is the article describing, the authorizing us to dispose of tax-acquired property in the best interests of the town.
I make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
All in favor? Yep. Next article is disposing of town-owned property as deemed proper. Deemed proper.
Make a motion to approve that article.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? 5-0. Next article is to carry balances for the end of the fiscal year, as again, a standard article we have every year.
Make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Maureen, a quick question. Is this the first year we've actually stated in excess of the 33% required?
Well, we changed it to 33%, it used to say 16.
16. Okay. And so this is per our policy, our financial policy change this year. So the motion's been made and seconded to accept the article as stated. All in favor? 5-0. Next article is to authorize the 662 to go to the Harrison Friendly Riders Snowmobile Club. Again,
Make a motion to accept the article.
Second.
motion's made and seconded. All in favor?
I have to abstain because I'm a
And
trustee.
4-0-1. Next article to authorize the board to spend up to $25,000 in case of any emergencies.
I make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? 5-0. Next article to transfer, authorize the board to transfer funds between accounts to cover overdrafts.
Make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor? 5-0. Next article, again, pretty standard to issue payments upon the signatures, 3 signatures of 3 selectmen.
Motion.
We should probably change that wording. We don't use selectmen anymore, do we? We do. We do.
It's fine.
Select board.
I don't know.
Select members.
Motion to make the, approve the article.
Make a motion to approve the article with the,
As written.
As written. All in favor? 5-0. Next article to accept grants and financial donations.
I make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? 5-0. Next article to waive foreclosure, tax lien mortgage. Waive the foreclosure of the tax lien mortgage pursuant to the statute.
Upon a finding by the selectmen that ownership of the property would be contrary to the town's best interest.
And that wording is the same as it has always been, so.
I make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Next article to authorize the payment of any tax abatements, including interest from the unassigned, from the from the property tax overlay, or if necessary, from the unassigned fund balance. And again, that's pretty standard.
I'll make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded, all in favor? Next article starts into the budget. And the first one is to appropriate the $1,150 from revenue to reduce taxes. And
Can you remind me what that one is? That's the one I didn't know what it is.
Our estimated revenue that will receive as non-property tax revenue, basically.
And does
So-
not include revenue sharing, homestead exemption, reimbursement, or Betty reimbursement.
How do we know this number?
It's
Our
from his
budgeted base revenue estimates based on past.
past years.
So it includes excess tax, it includes.
Fees.
So there's a sheet
Okay,
that is part
got
of
it.
the budget.
Usually conservative.
Okay, got it, thank you.
I make a motion to approve the article that shall the town vote to appropriate a sum of $1,001,750 from revenue to reduce taxes.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor? 5-0.
Is that how you want to do it for all the ones with money?
Well, we'll decide. I think so. I think we'll state the money
Okay.
in each one.
Do we have to say our recommendation before we?
Our recommendation is just yes, right? As in we approve it?
Well, I think when we do the vote,
You can have your vote.
I'm
Yes, 5-0, yes, 4-1, yes,
Okay.
3-2.
Okay.
yes will be majority.
Okay.
I mean, typically, the articles don't make the warrant if the board doesn't approve them. So it would be unusual to see select board recommendation no.
Yeah, I know, well,
Like we've had in the past.
we haven't had it in the past,
Have
so.
had
We
it.
had it in the past.
Well, we did have a year where select board recommendation was none.
Oh, that's right.
To avoid the negativity aspect. So I guess we will go through and do the top line number, which is really what the town is voting for in each case. Okay, so the first one is administration for $640,591.
Approve the article as presented.
As presented.
Second,
Motion's made, second to approve the $640,591 for administration. All in favor? I'm just trying to think if this is the easiest way. Should I read out the number? Yeah, we should read out the
Yes.
number.
Read it out the
Yeah.
number, yes.
Okay. Next article is for Public Works, to approve the appropriation for $865,069.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the $865,069 budget for Public Works. All in favor?
Raise it.
Raise and appropriate. We'll be raising and appropriating all the operating expense budgets. Next one is for the fire department, $192,454.
So moved. Motion to,
What? Motion's been made and seconded to raise and appropriate $192,454. All in favor? Next article is raise and appropriate $450,410 for solid waste disposal.
So moved.
second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve $450,410 for solid waste. All in favor? 5-0. Next article is for recreation to raise and appropriate $163,111.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Motion's been made and seconded to approve $163,111 for recreation. All in favor? 5-0. Next article is for benefits and insurance. Raise and appropriate $594,459 for benefits and insurance.
So moved.
second,
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Next article is for public safety. So just to be clear, this is the one that includes 2 deputies
Yes, correct.
in the budget.
Make a motion to approve, raise and appropriate 502,743 for public safety.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve $502,743 for public safety. All in favor? Next article is for community programs. Raise and appropriate $138,290.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve, raise and appropriate $138,290 for community programs. All in favor? 5-0. Next article is for parks, radar, and cemeteries. Is that the way we've worded this article in the past, or? Okay. Well then, so.
I think we added the word cemeteries to it.
Is that it?
Maybe.
Something that just sounded longer than it has.
No, that's true.
Okay.
So moved.
Motions. Motions.
Nope, you read it.
Well, you
You did, I'm sorry. I'll make a
Raise
motion.
and appropriate $230,222 for parks, radar, and cemeteries.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? 5-0. 2 more years we'll get this down. Next article is to raise and appropriate for code enforcement and assessing $152,940.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to raise and appropriate $152,940 for code enforcement and assessing. All in favor? 5-0.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
In regards to all of these administrative budgets, the bottom line has the percent change. It's just a slight discrepancy. One department says negative, and another department has it in parentheses, which I understand means the same thing. Can we just,
Yep.
Be consistent.
that's all, thank you. I think a negative percentage is probably better.
Clear.
Then the parentheses.
These, and just to be clear, these, I know one of the topics this year was the transfers for fleet in and out of the departments, but this is,
Reflects the movement of money into the public works department.
this is the actual percentage change. And it's reflecting the transfer of money that went over to Public Works. So,
And that's why Public Works at a 7.2%.
correct. We'll just, it may be something that we'll have to,
Notation.
Notation.
yeah.
Most of the departments had an overall increase in their operating costs. But some costs were moved to a different department.
So we may need to think of,
Don't we give them, don't they get a pamphlet of
Handout, yeah.
information, a handout? I think it should be in the handout. So that, just the, why
Yes.
you're seeing an increase in Public Works and you're seeing decreases in
We've talked about that extensively in budget workshops.
right.
So that's all, because people are gonna,
Well, there are, sometimes we'll put little informational notes, we haven't done that, but we'll,
one or the other, as long as
Yeah.
they're made aware.
I think the plan is to have a informational, similar to the public hearing, series, very small, brief document that just explains the highlights.
We're working on that now, yeah.
Okay, to go along with this.
Capital expenses.
John, just a suggestion was to just maybe put sort of a heading of operational expense, just before we get into the article on administration.
Yeah, I made a note of that on my
Okay,
copy.
so similar, you can see we're about to start in capital expenses.
And I just want you to note that expenses is SES.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But what you could say, John, is you get little Easter eggs in here to see how much we're
That's
paying.
right, I think so.
What will that check didn't get that?
So we'll have similar to that capital expense subtitle, we'll put a little operational expense at
Oh,
the
that's
beginning of
good.
the ones we just started with. So now we're into capital expenses. And the first one is the raise and appropriate $230,000 for the third of four payments to be held in the capital reserve fund towards the purchase of a fire truck. Is everybody comfortable with that wording?
Yes. Yes.
If so, we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor? John, do we have a date that we're planning to receive this truck next year?
All I'm told is April.
I think that's
I don't think there's a specific date.
Okay, probably a town meeting, someone will be interested in knowing when that's going to
So,
occur.
I believe the deliveries changed from the original presentation.
so it's gonna be sooner?
I think it was presented initially that we wouldn't receive it until after the fourth payment was approved, but now the plan is to receive it as soon as it's complete.
So will we use the bond money or the?
Yes.
So we're gonna use the bond money for
For a couple months.
A couple months.
Which, do you know what that number was?
Off the top of my head, it's
Wasn't a lot.
The interest for
50, it's like around 57.
So if this gets approved, we'll need another we'll be asking for 230 next year.
But
So that's all we would need.
Okay, right, whatever the 230 that we would be asking for next year.
For the next year's article, okay. I guess, I just want to be sure we'll have to make sure we explain to people if we're receiving a truck before we've voted on the last article next year, we just have to make sure people understand that.
That's why we got approval for the ban.
I know, I understand that. But that may be, next year, maybe we'll have, it may come up this year, but next year we'll just have to be sure we can explain things so people don't think that something unusual is occurring. Okay. In any case, next article is raise and appropriate $610,000 for capital roads.
so moved.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. We okay?
Did we do the county tax?
Not
No,
yet.
we haven't.
Oh, did you change the
Yes,
So this is a,
sorry. We'll sort it out tomorrow on.
No, I'm doing it live.
Okay.
so this is an example where we have an informational note down here to explain what that is. That's what I was referring to earlier. I think this is one that's been there for the past few years, so we'll leave the,
I think there's gonna be a lot of questions around the difference between the raise and appropriate, and then appropriate from capital. I'm guessing people will need clarification on the differences.
So we can make sure the moderator goes over that, what that means.
you're talking about the next article, which is gonna be to appropriate.
Yeah.
So when we talk about this town meeting informational briefing, one of the things that we'll have to spend some time on is the capital expense section. So people have that understanding of how the pieces will fit together. And then even though it'll be in a document briefing, I'm sure when the article comes up, we'll have to probably go through it again in detail. So having said all that, the next article.
Should we move the two raise and appropriate articles to be next to each other? And then have the appropriate articles be together? We're raising it. raise and appropriate 610 for capital roads and then 200 for capital reserve account.
And,
Which is similar to what we've done in the past.
yeah, move the two articles, the first one and then
The two articles that raise and appropriate.
Yep, together.
So I see 3 raise and appropriate articles, right?
Well, there's,
One is the fire truck,
oh,
and
yeah.
one for capital roads, and then,
I think it's
Comprehensive
keeping the
capital
two with
reserve.
capital roads
I think
together.
putting the two capital road ones together.
No, well, no, I meant
we have a little
raise and
disagreement here,
appropriate
but
capital roads, raise and appropriate for the capital reserve. Is there a reason to have those separated? We're raising and appropriate 810,000 to go into capital.
They're two different.
Purposes, so they
So you
can
want
put
them
one down.
separate?
Okay.
so are you suggesting that the one to appropriate the 886 should move up under the 610?
Yes.
So in other words, the town first votes to raise and appropriate 610,000, which, the point of which is that falls on the, into the mill rate.
Yeah, I see now what you're saying, that
Move this here, they've just voted on the one above.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have to do the
raise and
first.
appropriate 610,
Right.
and then appropriate 886.
That's what I was,
Just after,
Yep.
as the next article.
Right.
that's what I was saying, those two articles should go 1 and 2.
So I think the selection is, we voted on the shall raise and appropriate the 610,000.
I agree with that.
So far, so good.
We're all with that.
And now,
And then we're talking about voting next and moving the article on the 886 for capital roads
yeah,
as the next article in
That's correct.
sequence.
keep the two road
Yep,
articles
that's correct.
together.
So let's vote on that article now.
I make a motion to approve the article as written in regards to taking 886 for capital roads with 610 coming from funds raised in the previous
Preceding
article,
article, yep.
and the balance of 276 coming from the comprehensive capital reserve account.
Second.
Okay, any questions? So with the understanding, we'll move this under the 610 capital roads article. All in favor? 5-0.
Then I think the next two should be switched in order. Raise and appropriate 200,000 first, and then appropriate.
Well, I'm thinking it would be easier to talk about the last article being to replenish 200,000 after we've done the votes to pull out of capital reserve. The last article is deciding to replenish that amount back into capital reserve.
And what is
Shouldn't
this?
that be the first one, because if that's not approved,
It just means that our capital reserve is going to be low.
Yeah, it just means we'll be 200,000 lower in the reserve. So,
because it's not on a designated
Yeah.
funds, it's on capital. That's it.
so one of the things, one of the informational piece of information will be a little summary of the capital reserve starting and then the effect of each of the articles. And the replenishment of 200,000 so that people can see what the difference in the capital reserve will be from.
Okay.
I guess those 3 pieces of information, we want to make sure they have all of that together before they start on these capital articles. So I think the only question was, do we switch the replenishment number of 200,000 before or after? Or leave it in the sequence that it's in with those 2 articles? Did I ask that question correctly?
It's historically gone before. Historically, you've voted to raise and appropriate and then the expenditures.
That's just how I remember it.
So let's switch them then. That's always the way it's been.
What is the article about, 881? What is the
So-
money for?
Those
This
are
is
the grants.
specific to the stream crossing, so we should probably have some language in there that
Absolutely.
specifies that it's.
Right underneath, just like a blurb saying this is for the street crossings.
Well, just like the fire truck
Just
one, raise and appropriate for this reason.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, so there's two options. One is, are like the roads one, where you've got a statement underneath it which describes what it's for.
Oh,
Yeah, because that way we can approve that way we can prove the article as written right now, and we don't have to rewrite it. And then he can put the parentheses with the description
Yeah.
underneath
Agreed.
later on.
Oh, yeah, yep, yeah.
Okay?
Does that make sense, Maureen?
So the other thing is, we'll need to be sure that the wording we're talking about here will be for the replacement of 2 major stream crossings, just to distinguish up above where we have paving, ditching, replacement of culverts. So I would say maybe,
Say the culverts say that the stream crossings, the exact stream crossings this money is going towards.
okay,
There's only 2 of them, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just put them right underneath.
Does the $500,000 reimbursement need to be in the article, or should that be in the parentheses below?
I think it's in the article so that everyone understands that we're spending it, but it's gonna come back.
Yeah, we're getting the
so
help.
they understand we're committing the difference.
Right.
but we have those ones secured from grants.
Right, but we have to outpay the
full amount.
the full amount.
Yeah.
and
Before we
then
get
reimbursed.
reimbursed.
Yeah.
And so basically, we're really only spending 331,740
Of
of
tax levy money.
Yeah.
yes,
Up to.
up to, yes.
Up to.
So shall the town vote to appropriate up to $881,740 from the comprehensive capital reserve account, with $500,000 of that to be reimbursed to the town through grants that have already been awarded for the 2 major stream crossings at Carsley, Brook, and Eads Falls.
Very
I
nice.
support that.
I support that.
Didn't make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the article as Maureen just read.
As
Second.
described, including the wording for the two major street
2
crossings.
major crossings.
All in favor? Okay. And we have to, so the last one is the raise and appropriate 200,000 for the comprehensive capital reserve account.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
The last one.
We already did the last one.
We did the last one, isn't it? One we moved up, right?
Yep.
No, the 886 Capitol Road, we haven't done that one yet.
Didn't we approve that, move it up here?
We approved it when we moved it up.
Yeah.
No,
Yes, we did.
Capital, okay. All right, you're right.
So
I made a motion.
just to
Sorry.
confirm, where is that last, what's the order for that last one, the 200,000? Is that going after the 881 or before?
I think it should go after, now, because it's capital equipment is after that, so.
So the 200,000 is the last article in the capital expense section?
Yes. Well, before we get to the capital.
Till we get into
Oh,
the,
before, I'm sorry, yeah,
Plan,
you're right,
but,
right.
yeah.
Before we get into the actual expenses. You're right. I misspoke.
these all were capital
Yeah,
expenses,
These are all expenses, that's what.
These are all capital expenses.
No, I know,
Charge
I know.
ones.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
this last one, we're not raising and appropriating the way we are on the ones up above. But
so she's asking, where do we want the $200,000?
right after the 886 article,
Okay, and before this next one?
before
that
the
we-
next one that we're about to do.
Okay.
Okay.
The 886 is the article we moved up under the 610 roads.
Yes, so it's gonna go 610, 886, 200,000, 881, 740, and then the chart.
Okay?
Mhm.
So the next article is voting to spend from the capital reserve for infrastructure improvements and capital equipment. And we have a list of the major categories totaling $325,000.
I make a motion.
Can we, might be splitting hairs, but the patrol car, can we change that to sheriff's car?
Replacement of patrol car?
At first I was confused on what the patrol car, because it's patrol car and command car in the same box, I just thought that might be
Yeah.
confusing.
Did you?
I make a motion to approve the article with the amendment of from patrol car to sheriff's car, or sheriff's vehicle.
Just to get a question, are we're asking them to choose which of these items they support, or are we gonna ask them to support them all unless there's a motion to make, to fund less?
Well, it's all one article.
Right, there's
So
no
the-
number in the article, to see what amount the voters will spend.
Historically, they've approved an amount, and these are the expenditures that we're requesting.
So the article
Is open.
should say $325,000 in the article, or are we gonna ask the floor to make a recommendation on what the amount is?
It's historically been an open article and asked the board to make the recommendation, because there was 1 year it got cut
Yeah, I remember
to
that.
400,000.
So should here, the select board recommendation, should we state that we recommend the 325?
Yes.
Like in the, you mean in the article?
No,
In the
below.
recommendation.
Oh,
Your recommendation.
If we're not gonna put the up to dollar amount in the article,
Right.
The select board, well,
put
we have
select board recommendation, 325,000.
if we approve it. Because we haven't even voted yet.
Yeah, that's correct. We have.
So is this article limited to 325? It could be 500,000 if they chose to add
I
items
mean,
on.
but
No, because they, oh, yeah.
Because of the way it's
Don't have a
written.
dollar amount.
So should we say to see what amount?
Up to
325,000?
we can.
Yes, let's do that, so that we can say, make a motion to spend.
This,
That's a good idea.
And are we gonna have,
this on occasion can create some animated conversation, and we will need to decide what level of detail to provide as part of the informational document. Because we're not, historically, as you see here, we don't really list things in any priority order. So,
like the patrol cars on, has to be sheriff's car.
right, so sometimes people, there's sometimes some angst about what's the right number and what's the impact of changing the number.
I think this goes with the handouts of having one that is just for capital improvement.
Okay. So with the
It
intent,
that specifies maybe a little bit more detail, these items, and
Okay.
what our plan is.
I mean, if somebody stands up and said, how much is the fire station renovation cost?
Yeah,
And we're gonna say that's $50,000.
yeah,
We're gonna-
we
yeah,
can
answer-
have on the info sheet.
Answer what each of the individual items cost.
I think we're saying we'll use the capital expense sheet that we use.
Yeah.
So they could go through and make motions to reduce by certain amounts. Okay. In the past, I think there's been a desire to see more detail in the summary.
The reason
Can
it's
create
summarized,
issues.
the reason it's summarized is to account for anything that might be slightly over. We don't want to be held. If it's
Which is a good
detailed out in
point.
the warrant article and it goes slightly over because of costs,
Okay,
we would
Okay.
be able to buy it.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
why they're categorized kind
Yeah.
of grouped.
yeah. And
But
that's-
the
that's-
estimated costs could be provided on a separate sheet, we just don't want to do it.
Okay, all right.
Makes sense.
Do it in the handout.
So the grouping gives some flexibility for price changing. I mean, obviously, these are estimates that were made. They're gonna be executed 6 to 9 months after we made
Right.
it, so.
Right.
That may be some of what we'll have to put on the informational
Right.
briefing document. All right, having said all that, did we decide on the wording for this?
To see what amount, up to $325,000, the voters will vote to spend from the capital reserve for infrastructure improvements, asset maintenance, and capital equipment. I added the asset maintenance because of the loader capital expense for that asset maintenance.
Okay.
Another split hairs thing is some articles refer to the comprehensive capital and reserve fund, and this one just says capital and reserve fund.
Okay.
And I don't know, the comprehensive word, I feel like that's new.
No, I think that's what it's technically called.
Is that going to confuse people? Because we'll be talking about, well, not specifically, but we're talking about a comprehensive plan.
So why don't we just take that out, just call it the capital reserve.
On all of the articles.
Yeah, on all of the
I agree.
Okay.
One other question. Forest pump repair, didn't we approve money to purchase a new one?
It's not a repair, I mean, it's a complete replacement.
Yeah, so it's not a repair, it's a replacement.
I mean, the truck is being repaired.
Okay.
So the forestry truck is being repaired.
Yeah, it's had some
Complete
mechanical
replacement.
problems, so the fix is to put a new pump in.
Okay, gotcha, I see.
All right, I think we heard the motion. We need a motion to approve that as stated.
I make a motion to approve this article as stated.
Second.
Everybody comfortable with that? All in favor? We'll leave the wording in, by the way, just before you turn the page, so the parenthetical expression there, that these funds come from the reserve, not new taxation. Okay? Next article is to raise and appropriate $295,560 that we owe on the bond, the annual bond service debt payment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. Do we, I don't think we need to state it in the article. The fire truck, we stated the 3 or 4 payments
It's not really 3 or 4 payments.
on the fire truck.
The
It's
third
not a
of it.
payment.
It's just the third
It's the third appropriation, but it's.
towards the purchase.
Yeah, actually, we've made one payment.
Right, and we're gonna make one final payment.
Okay.
we only
So
get-
instead of payments, the third or fourth appropriation.
I guess.
For the third out of 4 appropriations. So everybody okay with that? We'll, a quick motion to approve that adjustment to the wording on the fire truck, payments for appropriations.
So moved. Second.
Second, moved and seconded, all in favor? So you'll adjust that wording and then back to the,
This next article, the garage has the words through taxes, that's different than other articles. Raise and appropriate through taxes.
do we need the words for tax, we'll remove for taxes and we'll just say raise and appropriate like the others. And- Do we really need for expenditures, raise and appropriate to service the Harrison?
I just say the money amount and then here for public works
Just
for
to service the
bond.
To service,
Yep.
yeah. Bond debt. So So with those couple of changes in mind, is there a motion? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the 295,560 for the
Service
public
the bond
works,
debt.
the service of the public works garage bond.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded, all in favor? 5-0. What do we want to do about this next article? We haven't really talked about it.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
talked anything about it, what do we think about it?
Should we defer it?
We may want to defer it just to give us more time to be able to cover it in a select board meeting and,
Yeah.
Let the questions be answered.
yeah.
Just strike it from the warrant.
Yep. I make a
So
motion.
so should we remove it, or do we just bypass doing anything with it?
Is it on the agenda for later?
I'm sorry?
It's on for
Oh, it's on
select board
tonight.
items, so.
So we can come back and vote on it after we discuss it today.
So we'll approve everything else.
We'll wait to approve that article until.
We'll hold off on that article and then decide after our discussion whether we want to come back to it. We don't have to formally not approve it, we just won't, we'll come back to it if we want to put it into the warrant.
We'll come back to it regardless.
Yep.
All right,
We'll address it after the.
so next article, raise and appropriate 565,241 for county tax.
So moved.
Second.
Is that,
Okay.
is that the number, or is there gonna be a change? We got that
We
email.
haven't, I know, and we haven't gotten an updated number.
But it's gonna be.
It's gonna be
reduced,
less, right?
So then we'll do up to,
Yep.
Up to,
Up to.
yeah.
Up
and it
to,
can be amended on the floor to lower.
Okay. Yeah, he hasn't sent out the updated numbers yet.
okay.
Otherwise,
Is there any impact of as to whether this is approved or disapproved? It's an assessment, isn't it?
Yeah.
So should it say should we say assessment in here, in the article?
You can add.
county taxes, the word assessment might add confusion.
Yeah, so it-
Leave it at tax?
Just leave
yeah,
it
just
as
add
is.
to, up to the 566.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the article to raise and appropriate up to 565,241 for county taxes.
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. Next article is to appropriate $36,183 from the undesignated fund balance account for the county tax change in fiscal year, which actually took place several years ago.
Is this the last one?
I think there's one more.
One more after this, so this is the fourth of 5.
Yeah. Make a motion that we accept the article.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor? Do we have do we have a caption or a title or a subtitle we're going to put here?
County assessment.
No.
No, I mean the next set of articles now.
Oh, yeah, ordinances.
Ordinances, so just as again a way to break.
Do we want to have all the ordinances at the end of the meeting?
Well, let's discuss it after we vote on it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll go through these 3 and then we'll decide if we want to move them. So the first one is the ordinance entitled the Building Permit Requirement Ordinance. Shall an ordinance entitled Building Permit Requirement Ordinance be amended?
I make a motion to approve the article as written.
Second.
The only amendment is the change in the height and the addition of the word residential.
Residential, yes. It was a typo.
Yep,
That was- Yep.
as long as that's the clear understanding, that's the change.
Yep.
So will there be some explanation? I guess I might suggest that we think of asking the planning board to have
For a
little
summary.
handout. Yeah.
Yep. And I
Okay.
believe Jim will be there also to speak.
Yeah, I think it's important that we have something rather that people can look at
Yes.
you know, before
Explain
the,
it,
yeah.
yes. On all these ordinances.
Yeah,
You know, I'd like to see the ordinance with the changes highlighted. We've seen that before,
Yeah.
and it's important to know that, you know, the highlighted section is exactly what's changing and nothing else.
so motion to approve the article as stated.
I think it's already done,
So moved.
seconded, wasn't it?
Motion second, or just a vote?
All in favor?
All in
Yeah.
favor?
Yeah.
All in favor? And we'll remove the select board recommendation. underneath
Oh, yeah,
this.
we don't need to do
Next article is, next article will be, shall an ordinance entitled mooring ordinance be amended? Again, with the note that the full text will be available, and as Nate suggested, highlight what the change is.
The only change on that is to allow a fee to be assessed by the select board,
If they choose.
if they choose.
Let me just make sure I understand the text of the informational note here. And it's the same for all of the ordinances, so. All right, so, motion to,
I approve the article for the mooring ordinance as presented.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? 5-0. Take a deep breath, do the next one. So, the next one is an ordinance entitled Short-Term Rental Ordinance. Shall an ordinance entitled Short-Term Rental Ordinance be enacted?
Are we sure that ordinance is ready?
Well,
So, let me so we'll ask some questions and have a little discussion before we make a motion on this.
I'll stop.
Let me start on this end. Wow. You have any comments?
I would say that just from the public hearing, there was a lot of pushback on it.
I agree as well. I feel like the majority of the people in the public hearing voiced opposition to the ordinance as presented.
Okay.
I even, after I read it over again, I think there's some, in listening to them, I think there's some things that we could improve in it.
Okay.
So I don't think it's ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the attorney prepared.
Okay. So I have gotten a few comments from people along the lines of that it's not a bad idea to think about addressing the issue, but the community may not be ready. I mean, it may not be prepared.
I spoke with Jim on it.
The information. The other comment I've heard too is that we've kind of changed the overall community engagement and the spirit, and that we want to be careful about introducing things that will start to cause a schism again in the community if we're not ready for it. And my sense is the same as yours, that there's a lot of emotional about the topic, and we're not well prepared yet to be able to bring it to town meeting. So I think the sense is that we're talking about referring it back to the planning board for more work. And so this one, we probably will just make a motion that we will not include this and take a vote on it. Okay. So, do we have any other questions, comments that we want to make before we entertain a motion?
What will stop the planning board?
A vote?
Yep.
So, the vote will be to send it back to the planning board, and that will be sufficient to not have it included in the warrant.
I make a motion that we vote to send the article regarding the short-term rental ordinance back to the planning board.
Motion has been made to send the article back to the planning board and not put it on the warrant.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other comments or questions?
I just have one question.
Yep.
What will stop this planning board from saying that these Airbnbs are not considered businesses and that they have to register for the planning board as a business?
make sure I understand your question, although.
Because right now,
Go ahead.
the town requires all businesses to be registered in the town.
Well, we have a business registration policy.
Yeah, they have to come before planning board. If you are running a business which is considered making money off of something, then you have to come before the planning board. And this was, from what I was on the planning board at the time, was to, because right now, to limit what the planning board, that is a lot longer process, a lot larger application, it's $50 application fee to come before the planning board.
Or do they just have to register with the clerk as a business? Why do they have to come to the planning board?
Because
So what is the difference between a business registering or?
you're using your property as a business.
How would that be any different than a retail rental at the block? It's a business, it's a rental property, generates income, or a single
And
family.
they have to come before the planning board. To open up a business across the street, they have to come before the planning board.
But the,
If I ran a sawmill business out of my house, okay, I would have to come to the town to get permission to do that.
so what about a single family residence that's rented and generates income?
They're probably technically the same, technically, you're running it as a business.
But why, I could see they could register the business, but why do they have to come to planning?
So I think we did focus
Well,
on the
this-
article.
No, I understand, but this is what I'm saying, is I just want to.
So for purposes of
So
just the town meeting,
Yeah.
it sounds like there's some follow-up work in referring this back to the planning board, that
And they,
we'll have to be sure that,
that's their job to figure out if they
to
want
figure
to.
that out.
Yeah, that's
Go
their
down that
job to
road.
figure out.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
So we can, in referring back to the planning board, we can express some concerns. Maybe we'll have John put a quick little note together explaining why we're referring it back to the planning board. And we can give him some informational notes to include. But in the meantime, we have a motion.
And second.
I'm sorry,
We just need all in favor.
so all we need is all in favor? 5-0. So that'll be referred back to the planning board.
Once and done.
Radar sign.
John, are you prepared to talk about some radar signs?
That's what I thought, too. I thought we had nothing for it. Speed radar sign.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can see how that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of unique to Harrison, radar.
That's true.
Well, there's an extra A in there.
Yeah.
There
Well,
is.
A lot of people misspell it radar.
Yeah.
So the good news is, well, first I'll back up a little bit with just some background information. You're aware of the speed complaints that we're getting on Naples Road by the elementary school. I've included the traffic analysis report from Urban SDK that provides you with a little report on that specific section of Naples Road. Overall, the summary of it is that it's, for the most part, a fairly calm road with a few outliers of speed. I had applied for a grant through Maine DOT for for radar signs that speed radar signs that would also have flashing school lights. These were made available throughout the state for school zones. That's the good news. The bad news is that it was discovered in the fine print that they can only be used during the morning, the school hours. Yeah. So that would not, it really wouldn't help us with the other speed complaints that we've been getting during off-school hours.
So could it be used through the entire school day or just during drop off and pick up?
It says right in here,
We're talking about the ones that we would get from the state
for free,
Yeah.
yeah.
Half an hour before and after.
Yeah.
It's only when school zone flashlights are flashing, so that would be the that would be the morning and the afternoon drop off and pick up, so.
I mean, that's very valuable in itself. I mean, it might not be effective all day long, but when the children are present and there's a lot of parents dropping off, picking up children.
Or
You
that
know, you
whole
have
service,
an X magnitude of traffic at that time. I think I see value in them even limited to just before and after school.
Can you compare this to the one that's there now?
What's there now?
Yeah, at the school.
Right now, there's just the flashing lights. This would be a
one.
new set of flashing lights and the radar, the speed indicator.
We're getting it for free, I think, why not add it?
So the,
What's the other option?
so the other option is, we have priced out speed signs, radar signs similar to what we have in other parts of town. And those would be, 24 hours,
Oh, yeah.
summertime. So
Wintertime.
it would cover more, would cover more,
Would cover the hours other than
other than the
school,
school zone signs.
which is when the high-speed incidents are.
I got three pricing, or Catherine more specifically got three pricings that range between about 2,700 to 4,200 per sign.
And this one's only cheaper because we would then have to buy the pole to put it on because we do not have them.
Okay, so it's not, okay,
So
so,
around like 3.
so we're looking at anywhere between three and a little over 4,000 per radar unit.
These would operate 24 hours a day.
Yes.
And then we permit it there?
Yeah,
And then taken down in the winter like the others.
yeah.
Where would the money come from if we decided to buy one or two of these?
The only place I can think of would be the select boards. But that's.
Slush fund.
Well,
instead of
yeah.
course,
Well,
slush
how
fund.
about this? How about for tonight, we think about, digest what you've given us for options, and you
Okay.
think about between now and our next meeting?
Can I make a
Oh,
suggestion?
going
Can I-
ahead with the public safety committee? Because that might be something that policy within their realm.
Public safety committee to start in July? Are you suggesting
Might be a good idea.
we hold off on this?
Yep.
Okay.
One question, is that grant money for these signs at specific, or we can get them anytime? These two, will they give us these
Is
two?
this a grant we have to apply for?
No, I already applied for it. Just back in October,
Yeah.
just finally got notified.
But we haven't been
Last week.
awarded, did we get awarded the grant?
Yeah,
So, can I make a suggestion? Why don't we, since we got the grant money, why don't we get these two signs?
it's not grant money, they actually
They're
deliver
giving
us
us,
the signs.
why don't they give us these two signs? Let's put these two signs up on each side of the school, attaching these to, so that, in that area. And then let the public safety committee in June look at purchasing these two others that we can put somewhere else on that road, because that road is they're just not speeding right there. We could put this, Naples Road is a long road.
Sure. So for tonight, we just need to give you the, you said we've been approved for this.
Yep.
I don't even know if we have to vote to accept them. Is that?
I think it'd be safe, just to
Okay.
vote to accept the grant, I think it's within this month that they would be delivered, and Public Works would be trained by MDOT on installing them.
So for tonight, we just need a motion to accept the dynamic school signs covered by the grant.
I make a motion to accept the items as stated.
As stated.
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded, all in favor? 5-0. With the understanding we'll be forming a public safety committee and put this as one of their items to take a look at. Tax acquired property form, next item on the agenda.
This might be more of an operational thing, but Maureen had suggested that we have something as far as a form for an agreement with tax acquired property and repurchase agreement. So this was a template that was used from the town of Raymond.
So is this associated with a quick claim deed, or?
It's to formalize the agreement for a repayment plan.
Alright, so we
So-
just had one of those recently.
Yeah. So that, and there's certain requirements, it has to be like filed with the county, and we just wanna make sure that we're doing it the
Yeah,
correct
because
way.
we didn't have anything, right? It was,
Seems
Yeah.
reasonable.
So that there's a clear understanding of who's responsible for what, and what the timelines are, and if payment doesn't happen, what the repercussions are.
Absolutely. So do we need a motion to accept the form?
Would you like a motion to accept the form? I mean, we probably don't need to. Is this something that goes through legal?
It sure looks like it did.
Going to Raven.
Yeah.
but I can, let me make a note.
So maybe we'll do a motion to approve it, subject to the legal information.
Are we putting off legal until July?
So in that case, then,
There's no urgency, right?
yeah, there really isn't.
Yeah. So why don't we give you the approval, subject to,
Legal review in July.
yeah. And then whenever they say it's okay, then start using it. If that's okay, you just need a motion.
Or reach out to Raymond, find out if they went through legal? No, sir.
Pretty sure
Some
they did.
legal fees. If Raymond sent this through legal already.
Unless we have the same lawyer you would want,
Yeah.
whoever, one
Yeah.
of the lawyers defending it
That's
to
what I'm saying.
review it.
I'm not sure I always agree with Raymond's decisions on things, but, yes, a motion.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with implementing this tax acquired property form
After we,
and subject to legal review.
Second.
second,
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? 5-0. Approved. Additional cemeteries for REITs across America.
And you'll see a letter from Amy Jerry, who explains that they are looking to include a couple of additional cemeteries as part of the Wreaths Across America program.
I make a motion to allow them to do the Wreaths Across America for the additional cemetery.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? 5-0. Remote meeting policy?
If we can defer that to the 28th.
Okay.
I was looking at it today and going through it, and
Yep.
there's some.
Yep. So we'll put it on the
Already,
next.
I found several things. that-
Okay.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this is it allows us to have meetings in the future.
Hybrid or remote, yeah.
But then it sounded like it was more making it restrictive, right? That it has to go through, it has to be an emergency to do it?
That was one of the things actually that I saw on there. I actually have a note right here that said, do we want it to be only an emergency, question mark, you know what I mean? So there were a few things in here.
Okay. So we'll get a meeting policy version 2 sometime for the next meeting.
Yes.
Either the next meeting or depending on how the workload is going, it could be
Yeah.
after that. Okay. Next item, nominations for MMA's Legislative Policy Committee, which I guess is
They need
Open
70 dedicated members. Across the state of Maine.
and you want to wish them good luck on that?
During the first 4 months of each campaign.
So I guess the question is anybody interested? And if not, we don't need to do anything further. We're going to have to separate you two.
he's trying to raise my hand.
So we can pass over this then.
I just wanted to throw that
Let
over there
everybody
for
know.
if
Thank you.
anybody was interested,
Yep.
if there was any interest.
Okay, thank you. Go down to other business. Do we have any other
No,
business?
wait, there's the legal, don't we have to?
Yes.
We need to have a motion to take action
Yes.
based on executive.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you're right.
Oh,
So I
right.
added it, I said that, I don't think you were here, Maureen, when I said I'd add at the end of new business. We have a motion that we have to make regarding,
Does he have the verbiage here?
who has the verbiage?
Oh, I do, I'm sorry. I was just writing something. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the town attorney to pursue an abatement appeal from Cumberland County Board of Assessment Review's decision regarding 22s a kilowatt.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. I won't repeat the motion at the risk of misstating it.
Do you need it?
No, I don't think so. To basically authorize the appeal, as stated. Does anybody have any questions? No? No questions? If there aren't any, all in favor? 5-0. Do you have any wording for the motion? I'll pass that back. Is this Maureen's or?
Yes. No.
Do we have anything under other business? If not, we'll move to select board items. And we'll start with Harrison Educational Options Committee.
So the Harrison Educational Options Committee met last week to discuss the presentation we plan to provide to interested citizens next Tuesday here at 5:30. I gave all of the select board a copy, and I don't want to prolong this evening's meeting, but if you have comments, I would entertain them, or John or anyone in the office. You'll see we tried to keep it short and concise. We tried to keep it focused on what the article is asking the citizens to do. And we have Connie Brown, the consultant, coming, and Dan Stockford, the lawyer. So we fully expect that we'll have questions, and we hope we can answer them. But we didn't want to fill the presentation with guesses of what they want to know. So we're just going to be prepared to provide the information.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And we'll try and encourage people to attend.
Yes, please.
What's the date's next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, 5:30 here.
Next time is update on comprehensive planning committee.
Yeah, so we had a presentation from Pam Sessions on Monday, talking about affordable housing in the community. That presentation, I believe, is up on the Harrison 2027 website now. We've broken into subcommittees to tackle some of the information around different chapters. We will have our second workshop on June 24th that will focus on some of the topics that have come up. So the subcommittees are working through information to present. Rather than being a drop-in session, it's going to be a show up, we'll talk about some stuff, and then it's going to be interactive, either on your cell phone or on a tablet, and you'll be going through some questions and ideas and getting people to strongly disagree to strongly agree on some different goals or ideas.
So people are gonna have to use their phones, so.
Yeah, and GP Cog will actually be driving this one, so it's unbiased, and then we'll have some available as well.
Are we gonna be able to have enough signal of this?
There's Wi-Fi.
They have Wi-Fi, so we're gonna be able to get.
It's going to be this one's actually going to be at the food bank.
They don't have very good service over there.
I think we're going to have to see if we can get onto their Wi-Fi.
They have Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Okay.
upstairs. A lot of it because it's the summer, it's going to be hot at the firehouse.
It's just water.
Yes, it is. It won't be in the fast enough though.
Just one question.
Yes.
Ron, I was at that workshop the other night. Ron was stating something that first draft has to be by when?
That was incorrect.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Is there, is there any sense of how the comprehensive plan committee could, or should give some sort of update at town meeting? Maybe think about it.
Okay.
I mean, there's no articles related this year to
Right.
its opinion, but maybe a good opportunity to have just a sort of an informational how's progress from last town meeting when they approved.
We could, and because they will be closing the surveys,
Okay.
like 2 days after that, it could be a good reminder.
Okay.
To get
You
them
ought to
done.
get certain, yeah.
To remind them of the survey, but opportunities to be involved in the near future.
Yep,
Yep.
Yes.
Have a handout at the
Yep.
door.
okay, that's a great suggestion.
Good. So the last item we have is the GoGov, which we started to talk a little bit about.
Since this is, we're approving this in a warrant, or is this?
Well, so I think had been some conversation about it, and the warrant article was the last chance this year to try and get authorization if we wanted to spend any money. That would be the rationale. If we felt comfortable that we knew that it was something we were ready to support.
So what is this all about?
So it is a app, I included a YouTube video in the digital packets.
I did watch it.
So, this I think will, and maybe we ought to take time, I'm sure there's other apps that are just like this, and maybe it's something we want to take a little bit more time and explore other apps, but I think conceptually, I think that this would be helpful for engagement with the community in this age of everybody's on their smartphones. You can get messages out to them, they can go, with that app, you're able to integrate with the website, and there's a lot of features with it that again, I think maybe we take a little bit of time and
Okay.
not just look more at this, but maybe see what other apps are out there. I'm sure there's probably others, so.
Didn't GP Cog say they were developing something when we were at that regional meeting?
Something different. We talked a little bit about doing online surveys and polls, and they have, it sounded like, the way I interpreted it is, there's an application, I can't recall the name of it.
They used to tell you, like what the other day,
But it was-
Venti.
It sounded like it was a selective polling
Yep.
approach to things.
Oh, the polling app, yeah.
Yeah,
Which would be a little different from engaging the community as a whole. But I think to your point, it sounds like it's maybe well worth looking at, finding out who's using it, what the different options are.
The timing was just,
Yeah.
it came up and I had a chance to do a information meeting, and it was at the time when we were really kind of pretty much through the budget process. We were way past that line item that, out of administration for technology, that it would have fallen under, and, I had the budget committee
Yep.
looking to try to
Yep.
get things cut back a little bit, not added, so.
Okay.
So that's where it ended up being the idea of maybe a warrant article.
Okay.
But
It sounds like it's worth pursuing, and if the
Yeah.
timing's off a little bit, it'll be more in terms of looking at the feasibility of this a little bit more.
we have a warrant, but that we would approve up to $5,000 for a software package to do X, Y, and Z.
And then choose.
Then choose the vendor. That will give leeway, we don't have to wait until June of next year if we wanted to move
If we
forward.
felt comfortable that
Yeah.
And if we don't feel comfortable, we won't use it. We won't use the money.
I don't know enough about, what type of communications do you envision us using? How would we use this app?
Select board meetings,
It's just that,
town meeting, trying to get people more involved in the
I
town.
think people forget about
Trying to
that's
get
going
more,
on.
get
This
more.
is the watch mode.
I'm
Well,
just,
that is that
They don't
too,
have to
yeah, I
come
know,
here
but.
anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just concerned of subscribing to apps that cost us $5,000 a year, with a speeding app and the road survey app, or other subscriptions that we've recently signed on to. Just,
Do we know how many people are watching? Do we get a?
8 to 11, up to I've seen as most as 12.
Oh.
Tonight, you mean?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there was 6 last time I looked, I'm not longer.
Yes, good.
So,
I think the concept is valid, but I'd like to see more information on how we plan to use it, some examples. I understand, we have a newsletter and the Facebook page, and
I don't know, we're trying everything out there to give people more, to know what's going on in town.
there's $5,000 and we
we do want to be careful that we don't appear to be wanting to spend money
Right.
without being clear what the benefit is. That's the risk of.
Okay.
Is there any sense, you want to put an article on the warrant, or you wanna-
I don't see any reason to add it as a separate article on the warrant. I think we'll potentially fund it in the future if the data shows that it's
We'll give this as an objective to John to do a little more work on and.
I was just trying not to have to wait a year if
No,
it's something we wanted
that's-
to.
And that's right, which I think is why he put it on the warrant, just
Yeah.
to see if we felt comfortable enough to try and move it forward.
I hear what you're saying. We want to be watching the money.
What, yeah, I think the more we can make sure that people have a sense that if we're asking for money, that we'll get a clear benefit, that they'll see on it. But we'll give it to Maureen to put some creative way to fund a few $1,000s next year if we think it's money well spent for us. So, where does that leave us? Do we need to go back to the warrant, or we're done with the warrant?
We're striking it from the warrant.
Okay,
But you want to?
Do we need a vote to strike it?
I make a motion, we strike the article regarding GoGov funding from the warrant.
Second.
motion, is that a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Okay.
And we will then figure out how to include it in John's objectives to kind of carry that thought forward. See if there's a benefit to us for the money.
Yeah.
Okay?
Got one quick question.
Let me just mention that the next regular meeting is Thursday.
He had a question about something.
Okay, go ahead, ask your question.
Just on the back of our pamphlet, the police response,
Yes.
is this going to be a town meeting so that people have an idea when they're voting on sheriffs?
So, go ahead, you want to speak or you want me to speak to it?
Well, there is not be a warrant article,
No,
but you mean voting on the public safety budget?
about public safety budget, because people might be voting down to only have one sheriff.
We're having another
We're having a
meeting.
follow-up meeting to go over this more. And I think basically what I have for a list here for info that we're going to want to probably have at town meeting. One is a basic info guide on the budget, one specific to CIP, and one specific to public safety. Maybe even one for roads, but just a one sheet that maybe could be put together in a packet that gives information, kind of a one-page summary on some basic stats and info on public safety.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So did you want to, does everybody understand what they're looking at? Which is the data that came from dispatch?
I think it's great data. Very clear.
Very clear, yeah. And I just think people should be able to access it, even if you put it on, is it on now?
No.
No, this was compiled by Kristen.
Thank you, Chris.
The only question I had about it was the response times, Harrison average and non-Harrison average.
Yep. So that was the other county sheriffs and Bridgeton grouped together. It's not,
So is that response time for them to go to these similar calls in other towns?
nope,
Or is it for them coming here?
to our calls. Yep. It's for when they responded to a call that was dispatched in Harrison.
All right, so the orange is our contract deputies' response time.
Yep.
The other are Cumberland County or mutual aid responses to calls in Harrison.
Yep, and then you'll see there's ones that were mental health experts that responded to a few calls as well. those were based on who got to the call first. So if it was dispatched to multiple agencies, it was the first responder.
So the goal is to try and provide information regarding some background data on the depth coverage and focusing on the response time to calls. That seems to be the big topic. And the other information we have is the percentage of time, the two deputies are scheduled for 50%, but it turns into some actual time less than 50%, and that's what the contracted deputy side is addressing. So it would be hard to predict what more deputies or less deputies would actually do these, but it's sort of a start to try to look at the data in some way.
It's really nice to see that, the volume of calls split up by type, and to see, the vast majority of calls are traffic stops, but we could also see the other types of calls as well. It's, there's a few dozen types of calls, and it's good to see how, the volume of the critical calls versus the, routine calls.
Get that on the website?
Chris's permission.
It's
What's your question?
See it on the website?
Yeah, I think we just have to be careful that
I do have one question before we publish it.
that it's so people don't misunderstand.
Yeah.
We just have to be a little careful
We
about it.
can go through it at the next meeting of the
Yep.
group and decide.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to asking the sheriff's department if they agree with this data, because I want to present data that's accurate, especially if it challenges any type of coverage.
So again, just to be clear, so however we publish this, we can cite it, but the data didn't come from the sheriff's department, it came from dispatch.
Yeah.
My biggest question is the severity and the urgency levels of the calls. That, I need to make sure that information is consistent agreeable to the sheriff's department.
Yes, so that is, I assigned a urgency level to it.
Yes.
After looking at different ways, I used at least 3 different AI to tell me what categories they should be, and they all came back with slightly different answers. So it was my best judgment, and there is a chart there somewhere.
I think
Let's get how I classified them.
this is great information. I just want to make sure that
Agreed.
It's also great information to decide if we want to move those deputies around to different time slots.
All right, so the other thing we may try and do, I think, is to try and do something similar on the fire and rescue side as well, because response time, coverage and response time is
types of calls.
same kind of issues. So, more to come.
Great first step.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Sure. Do we have anything else? No?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I guess so.
Next regular meeting, May 28th.
Yep.
She already said that.
Next regular meeting. I thought I heard a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
A second. All in favor? We're adjourned.